Morning, folks. So there you have it. In the news this morning, we've got a top diplomat, supposedly top diplomat, they must call that themselves, saying that we aren't going to be able to buy access to the single market unless we join the European army. There we are, an army designed to subjugate the people. See, with NATO, you've got they're not allowed to get involved in any kind of civil disturbance or anything like that. But this new European army is a paramilitary police force. It's not an army, and they've got the legislation that's used to set them up has given them a mandate to subjugate all of us, basically. They can work on civilian populations and that. So now you've got a proper, an army of stormtroopers, basically, with real weapons, not just tasers and, we're talking automatic weapons, hand grenades, all the whole 9 yards, armoured vehicles, and they're allowed to be let loose on the civilian population. Well, that sounds like a fascio-communist state to me. And there we are, having British diplomats coming out saying, oh, well, we've got to join this European subjection army, or we won't get access to the single market. Well, they've been lining up to do this for years. Why do you think we haven't got an army anymore, or a navy, or an air force? It's to get us into this European army by the back door without anybody noticing. Well, people do notice. Sergeant Blackman's in jail, so they can destroy the reputation of the Royal Marines, which obviously hasn't worked, but Sergeant Blackman's still in jail. And it just makes me a bit wild. And that supposedly our head diplomat resigning. Yeah, I'm sure he did resign. He was told to resign, I'm sure, because he's obviously working for the other side. They weren't going to give any quarter, and he's obviously been briefing against Theresa May. As much as I think she's a complete fascist, I think that whether she likes it or they like it or not, we are going to leave the EU, and the right thing's going to be done whether they want it or not. But the point being that he had the sack. Now we've got this other one coming out saying, oh, we've got to join these. So they're panicking. They're really panicking now, because the Europeans, you've got to remember, we're paying in billions of pounds a year, and the other European countries have got to replace that money, and the euro's already shaky as hell. So the chances are that us pulling out properly and just saying, screw you, it's really going to put pressure on the European system. And there's only one way they can turn, and they'll turn to Russia, and we'll be the beacon of light on the edge of Europe as the Russia-Euro trading area comes to the fore, and eventually invades the Holy Land. But I digress slightly there. So there you see it. It's crumbling before our eyes. All these traitorous diplomats that have been working for the EU can see their own meal tickets and that disappearing, are crapping themselves. And don't forget as well that our MPs haven't done nothing. They've had nothing to do for years, right? Because all the legislation's come out of Europe, so all they've had to do is implement it, and that's what civil servants are for. So what are we paying these 660 they're not MPs, they're party representatives. So now they're going to have to start doing their job. See, in the Bill of Rights, 1668, it says that they're there in Parliament to represent the people. And now they just say, oh, we're not here to represent the people, we represent our constituencies. Well, not for much longer. You're going to have to start doing your jobs, because once we are out of the EU, they're going to have to start representing the people again, because it's the people who are going to be going to their constituency offices and saying, why aren't you doing this? Because at the moment they're trying to distance themselves from the public by things like attacks on various MPs. So they're saying that, oh, you have to make appointments, you have to be vetted before you can speak to your MP. Well, that's not. I know we live in a shadow of a democracy, but it just goes to show that they're not MPs. They're just party representatives, and they do what they're told by their party. So this is going to be an interesting year. This is a Jubilee year. In the grand scheme of things, and big things happened in Jubilee years. So I'm not talking about the Queen's Jubilee either. Anyway, TTFN.